All right. Let's see. We're going to try it now. Then we're going to post the link in the joint. Copy to the clipboard. All right, let's try it again. Let's see what it do. That's never. I pay good money for this joint to be able to stream unlimited streams for 12 months. So I ain't trying to. Yeah, we do need the Gal theme for this one. Let's look up the Gal theme. Man, these motherfucking commercial. Need the Gal theme. Where's the Gal theme? All right, but let's see if it works. I see you, Kodo. All right, go ahead, talk.
1, 2,
Yo, I
1, 2.
hear nothing. What the fuck?
Again?
I still don't hear nothing.
What the fuck, bro?
Yo, what the fuck? Like, why I don't hear nothing?
Whoa. That's crazy.
Yo, I still don't hear nothing, though. What the hell?
Yo, you need to go to thing, man. You need to go to your... Oh, you can't hear nothing. You need to go to audio. Go to your audio setting. Yeah?
I don't know what's going on here, man.
Audio setting.
I'm here training, doing my Gal thing. Gal was my dude, by the way. Gal was my guy. Something got to be good. What the hell going on with this mic, man? Well, it ain't the mic, it's StreamYard, actually, because the mic works, and I can hear y'all on YouTube, so it's not y'all mic either.
Okay, that's weird.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
like, y'all mics work, because I can hear y'all on YouTube, so it can't be that.
Weird. That's strange. That's strange.
The site is bugging out.
Man, you're going to have to go solo, man.
JD telling me this joint not even sending out notifications. I'm getting the impression that StreamYard is on the fritz. That's the impression I'm getting. Because it's not making no sense.
They need to bring Google Hangouts back, to be honest. I'm sick of this StreamYard shit, to be honest, man.
Let me see.
Let's go back to Google Hangouts.
Go to my joint. Close the player. All right, I'm live right now. Let me see.
Yo, if you could hear me, bro, somebody said that
I don't know what the hell going on with this.
Somebody said
I don't know
that
what's going on with
live right now. Let me see.
Someone said that your stream doesn't show the live banner. Yo, if you could hear me, bro, somebody said that
I don't know what the hell going on with this.
Somebody said
I don't know
that
what's going on with
Live right now. Let me see.
someone said that your stream doesn't show the live banner.
Yo, if you can hear me, bro, somebody said that.
I don't know what the hell going on with this.
Somebody said
that. Live right now.
Yeah, I think it's StreamYard, bro. I think it's StreamYard. It has to be.
Damn your
It has to be
StreamYard.
StreamYard, because other than that, I don't know why this joint is bugging out.
Damn your
It says
StreamYard.
it doesn't show that I'm live.
Get the refund, Julius. They charge us and charge
It's showing live on my channel. It's showing live on mine.
Let's see, audio, default, internal speakers,
Ow.
internal microphone built in. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. General, internal.
Hello, intangible.
I don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, this joint wants to start bugging out.
I think there's an error in the matrix. What do you guys think?
I think This is crazy.
Cam
You know what's funny is that if you go to YouTube,
standard.
right, it doesn't have the little
That
live
already.
thing on it. It's not saying live. It just has that little live little.
No, I got it on my channel, bro.
No, yeah, no. What I'm saying, see, it shows on the StreamYard, right, that it says live with the countdown. It's supposed to say it on YouTube as well, and it's not saying it. And people are also saying it that they don't see it saying that it's live in the corner either.
I'm
like,
saying it say it on my feed though.
oh, it says it on yours. Oh, whoa. Let me find out I'm giving somebody a bug through my shit then.
Nah, bro. Look, this been happening. I've been telling people this been happening all around, bro. All the channels.
Damn.
All kind of quirky things. I just did a live about it. So only thing we can do is like all around, bro. So
I got
all the channels.
Damn.
Unsubscribe,
kind of quirky things. I just did a live
no
about it.
icon. I mean,
Only thing we can do is like
Bring back
Hangouts.
Hangouts. They need to bring back Google Hangouts. So they need
Google Hangouts was good, yeah.
Yeah, they need to bring that big. Yo, that's facts, boxing. Beats and rhymes. Yo, that was the shit, right?
Yeah, of course.
That was the shit.
But StreamYard, everybody got to give StreamYard a chance, bro, because they're not like Zoom and Hangouts and Skype and all of that, bro.
That's true.
They just came out when Hangouts went down. StreamYard was just created. They just purchased new servers here recently and everything. Like I've been with them since the beginning, so it's just like any new company, man. But they got a whole lot of stuff coming, bro. It's just they have to keep purchasing servers because people is flooding the StreamYard. You know what I mean? They're getting the influx. I guess they didn't anticipate growing as fast as they are, but it probably had a lot to do with Google Hangouts going out, because when they were coming out, nobody anticipated Google Hangouts just going out like that. Just boom, Google Hangouts leaving. And so what happened is it's just a smaller company, and they just got this influx of people that their projections, they could have never projected that. You know what I mean? Then imagine Hangouts goes down, and then after Hangouts goes down, we have this pandemic. So everybody's in the house. So now they have more people. So just imagine this influx of people they had join their service, and they never anticipated that. So you're seeing these quirks, and they're working it out along the way. But I think it's a great little program. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the traffic flow must be crazy, man.
It's off the chain, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
No, because I'm so goddamn smart, what I decided to do was go live via my phone where I can hear you.
There you go. Welcome, brother. Welcome to your show.
Welcome to your show.
Thanks. A long time listener, first time caller.
Really? So tell us, how long you been following Ring IQ Boxing Talk, brother?
About 37 years.
Nice, man. Nice. And tell us, what do you actually benefit from this great show, brother?
Well, I've learned a lot. I've learned that Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith are screwing the pooch. That the two motherfuckers need to fight each other or fight Canelo. Right. Especially Callum, because, bro, you haven't... I mean, look, John Ryder was a good fight. But did you really win that fight, though? Did you really win? You need to redeem yourself, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. That John Ryder fight, I think that's like an automatic rematch. When you get that kind of question, look, people could say what they want about Floyd Mayweather, but when he got questioned, run it back.
Yep. With my Donna, I give him mad.
You know what I mean? He got questions about a fight, run it back then. And he run it back. That's what you do. If somebody question you, run it back.
Yep. And he also did it. He also ran it back. What was it? If I'm not mistaken, when he was a pretty boy, he ran it back.
He ran it back with Castillo.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what it is? Yeah, these days, like. You see when Muhammad Ali or Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting, or Rocky Marciano, and you got the phone call that you're going to fight them, and you knew you were B-side. You didn't question anything. You didn't ask about the percentages. You didn't ask for nothing. You didn't want to say anything in case you fucked up your shit. Sorry to swear. In case you messed up your shit, your shot. So you wanted your shot. These days, Callum Smith is talking about someone like John Ryder who hasn't made the money. it's life-changing for him. But he says for him, he's saying for him, basically, it's a little different. See, he's got money. Eddie's paid him. DAZN has paid him. But what he's not realizing, the world does not see you on an equal level in terms of boxing and achievements to Canelo. He's not understanding that. Doesn't get it.
I agree. And that's what I want this live to be about. That it's like, yo, these guys, they not, well, I'm not going to say that they not understanding. They understand just fine. They're just being prima donnas because it's like, bro, you so focused on the negotiations for a Canelo fight that you actually willing to fuck up the fight. And if you fuck up the fight, guess what? You never fight Canelo. You never get the chance to beat Canelo, which leads me to believe that, like, yo, they not looking to beat Canelo. They really not looking to beat him to, beat the man to be the man. They just want to get paid. That's what it looked like.
Crazy.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, man.
That's how everything is now. Like, these guys, the same with the AJ fight. You're not looking to beat AJ. You're not looking to beat AJ. You just want to get paid from the fight. And like, it's not like before where, you know what? You wanted the shot because you think you can beat him. That when it was sporting, like, yeah, you want to get a championship fight. You want to fight a big name because you want to be the one that beats him. These days, motherfuckers is happy with Andy Ruiz doing the work instead of Wilder. That's how twisted the shit has become.
Yeah, it's twisted. It's twisted, man. See, it depends how much you want it in life, man. It depends how much you want it. I remember being a kid and like one of my friends is a little older than me, and he left me and my friend in charge of what he used to do with the carpets up in South London. So it was a lot of work, and I got some of my friends. I said, okay, got you a little work. You can move some carpets, and we get you some money. And then because, they're the same age as us, and he doesn't see me as a boss. He sees me as his friend. Yo, how much you getting? I said, don't worry about how much I'm getting. So he kept questioning, and he's like, nervous. The next day, I didn't call him for work. And then he heard that I didn't call. He was pissed at me. I got someone else who didn't question me.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I'm giving you money. I'm getting you some money. But you're questioning me. No, I'm not having it, man. Let me get someone else. I don't need that. Need that. And that's what Canelo's going to do to Callum Smith. He's going to piss him off, say, look, man, you want the fight? You want the money? Let's move on.
Hey, James Doe. Dito got Rona. Dia Stoner.
There you go, kid. Oh.
These guys don't want it, man. Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith.
Yeah, they don't want it. I mean, look, if Billy Joe, because remember when him and Golovkin shut him down when he tried to show up, remember in their first presser, and he was like, yo, I'm here to fight these guys, or one of you guys, and they were, GGG looked at him and said, bro, I'll beat you with my left, and Canelo said, get this guy out of here. Like, what he was doing then was too late. What he's doing now is way too late. And that's not even on the call-out game. It's just, my man, you were supposed to step up a while back, and you didn't. What did you do? You took a sabbatical. Is this false or not, guys? Did Billy Joe Saunders take a sabbatical for a bit and became a cover girl with that title?
Yep.
Bro, these fighters venerate themselves, dog. They get one belt. Now they got all the power. Like, dude, just humble yourself. Stay in your lane. Take the money they offer you and work your way up the ladder. It's just that simple, man. It's their mindset. It's somewhat of the prima donna syndrome too, but you winning the championship, one belt don't put you on even playing field. Somebody who's been putting work in.
But in a way, I don't have much mercy for Canelo. I know one guy out there who lives in the Boston region of America, right? And has got a WBO world title belt. He wouldn't care if he had to fight Canelo at 168 or 160, and he's ready to go.
Fact.
He's ready to go. But they won't call him. They're not going to call that guy.
No, they're not. They're not. And if you notice, Beats, if you notice, D, and my man Julius, if you notice the little fuckery from, that always comes from Golden Boy. And
fixed it.
Yes.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, kid.
You fixed it, yeah?
Fucking shit, man. I'm like, man. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something about me, right? I have I don't know if I actually have OCD. I just know that I'm very obsessive. So like, I will fuck with some shit until I get it. Like last night, for example, I made a new intro, right?
Yeah.
So I made a new intro. Turns out the music in the intro was copyrighted. Now I'm looking at MIDI pads and FL Studio so I could start making my own beats again because I'm fucking obsessive. And I can reverse engineer any fucking beat, bro. Any beat, I could reverse engineer it so I could get around the copyright issues.
Bro,
Yeah.
I gotta
That's talent there, dog. That's talent there.
Oh yeah, you got OCD, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is because I look at it. I do look at it as OCD because it's like, yo, I won't stop until I fucking do it. I won't stop until I get it done. I'm like, damn, dog. But music is music. Anybody who's ever made beats to any capacity, it's very time consuming. That's why I was like, damn, do I really want to do that?
Beats.
Yo, what's up?
I'm sorry, not beats. Jay, we brothers in different states because you was explaining that, and my wife is like, "Yep, fuck that beat."
It's a good thing. I'll say it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because I've always had a lot of hobbies. So I like drawing. I like making beats. I like doing a lot of different stuff. It's a good thing because it keeps you sharp and it keeps you good at what you do. But because it's like OCD kind of, it's like you end up spending too much time on some minor shit. Like,
shit, bro. Yeah.
Like, am I really gonna buy a MIDI pad and FL Studio just because this one beat got copyrighted?
Yes.
I'm saying, brother. That's good.
This right quick, Beats. When you were saying that, Julius, you noticed that Beats was saying his piece, Kodo was saying it, but I really won't saying shit because, dog, I'm just like that. I can't even lie. My wife then gave me up anyway. You know what I mean? I can't. Like, I'm just like that. If I can't stop, if I start on something, if I start on anything in life, bro, I've been like this. I cannot stop until I complete that. I cannot stop.
Yeah, that's how I am. Hi, what's good? Handyman, what's good, South London? How y'all doing?
Good,
respect you, man. Great channel. Wicked.
I appreciate it, bro.
I don't know if you could allow me in for a minute. I've always wanted to ask one question.
Okay, go ahead, bro. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Ask a question.
Okay. What's his name? Two things actually. One was beef and one was about boxing. Let me see. I keep hearing debates on who is the best boxer and so on, yeah? UK, we had a different system to America. And right now, it's like we're trying to follow America. But in the UK, you had to win the English title. You had to win the, the British, the European, and then win a world title. And the issue is today, you've got so many sanctions, you've got so many world titles around. When you say who is the best, it's up to an individual to make a name for himself. If you're chasing somebody, you're not going to be anywhere. Because if the best. But what would happen if Dimitri concentrated on himself? Or let's say Crawford, yeah?
Okay, cool.
If Crawford wants to fight for a title, give up the WBO and chase what is, become a mandatory. Is it not the channel?
I mean, I've heard, and I've actually heard that about Crawford. I've actually heard that alternative that, you know what, if you really want to pin these guys down, what you can do is become a mandatory challenger for one of the belts that they got. And it's not that that's not a bad idea. It's that you have to remember when Matt Korobov was the mandatory for Peter Quillen's belt, the WBO, what Al Heyman had Peter Quillen do was throw his belt in the air and vacate it because he was determined to not make that fight. So I'm thinking, let's say Crawford was to vacate his
Okay.
WBO. Hold on. Let's say Crawford was to vacate his WBO. He
Yeah.
said, okay, well, I'm gonna be the IBF mandatory. That way I could get the Spence fight. And if he don't fight me, they're not gonna accuse him of ducking. Bro, they way past that. I'm telling you, they'll throw that. If nothing else, you'd be shooting yourself in the foot because you'd be approaching the fight as a challenger and not a champion.
Yeah.
They could lowball you. They could hit you with like, oh, we only gonna give you 30%.
Yeah.
Listen, it's
Yeah.
a terrible idea. Unless
No, but it's
Errol
better.
was-
I'd rather. Sorry.
Hold on, Handy.
Sorry.
Hold on. Let
Go on.
Beats go. Go ahead, Beats.
unless Errol Spence was Canelo, it would be
Yeah,
the
sorry.
worst
Sorry.
idea for Terence Crawford.
Yeah, I agree.
Why should you give up the belt for Errol Spence?
Say
No.
And
that again.
unless we forget,
Say-
Errol Spence
say
is the
that
one
again.
that said. Errol Spence is the one that said, get a belt, and then we'll fight, and then I'll come take your belt. All of those were hollow words. All of that was hollow words. He didn't mean none of that. And ultimately, this is why I say it in almost every live. It wouldn't surprise me if those two guys go their whole careers and never fight. Because the PBC, they don't want that fight, period. They don't look at that fight as being important. They don't. And that's not the only one. There's been all kinds of fights. There have been all kinds of fights. I'm not going to say that they were on the same scale as Crawford versus Spence. That they weren't big like that. But we saw small indicators of this over the years. They're like, bro, y'all wouldn't let Quillen fight Korobov. You wouldn't let Santa Cruz fight Rigo. You know what I mean? You had Gary Russell and Leo sitting there in the same division, and both of them got belts. They never fought each other. So if you,
Rigo as well. Hey,
Yeah.
no, my response to you, Handy, was like, unless Spence was the cash cow draw, then it would be ridiculous for Crawford to give up his belt. I mean, if they both gave up the belt, so the fight got it, fair enough. You know, if they
I'm gonna make.
but no.
Okay. This is where I disagree with you guys. This is where I disagree. In the UK, we never had a system called the cash cow. This is an American thing. We never had
it's not.
anything like cash
That's-
cow.
That's not true.
Basically, you had to fight for a title. Like how I'm saying right now, Crawford doesn't need to chase Spencer. He came from a lower division as undisputed. He's been a champion before. They need to be like the older Drake Taylor and so on. Look at Nigel Benn. Come on, man. Boxing has to change. We cannot be going there saying that Canelo is the best. For me, Canelo, when he refused to fight for the WBO title to become undisputed, and he chased what's his name, Kovalev.
he went up for Phil. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Filled him.
But
It just never made sense.
Can I ask you a question? You're saying Britain has never had cash cows. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. When did we have cash cows? Come on, man. Honestly.
I think what he's saying.
We can go.
Like,
I can. For me, I can go all the way to the 80s.
Frank Bruno weren't a cash cow.
Who was? I mean, we know Bruno. I know McCallum. Pardon? A cash cow to who?
Ricky
He
Hatton.
either defended the British title, or what I'm saying is he either defended the British title or he went for the European title. There was nothing like cash cow or whatever.
yeah, but what you're talking
Cash
about
cow
are
is
people that are not
become now.
world level yet. You're talking about people that are fighting on a domestic level. So, okay, at the domestic level, there might not be cash cows yet.
Okay.
But when they get to world level, some of them are going to become cash cows.
Okay, let's go to you.
Domestic level.
Chris.
All right, everyone's talking at once. So
Yeah,
go.
one at a time. I'm gonna pass it to Beats. I'm gonna mitigate. I'm gonna pass it to Beats. Then I'm gonna pass it to you, Handyman. Beats, go ahead.
Even in British boxing, you get purse bids. So if you're,
Okay, cool.
let's say you're a boxer from the Midlands back in the day, and you're getting a purse bid against Frank Bruno, and you're going up against Mickey Duff, you're going to lose because Bruno's the cash cow.
Yeah.
You're going to lose. There's always been a cash cow in Britain. Ricky Hatton's a cash cow.
Yeah, he was. Look at how many people crossed the Atlantic Ocean for the Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, Handyman. This is what I think. and South London just made this point, which is what I think it is also. When you're just talking about, all right, British level, right? The reason perhaps you didn't see as much fiascos about cash cows is because they're still at the domestic level. They haven't crossed over into the mainstream world yet. So there's not going to be as much bluster and hubbub when it's still domestic level. But as far as the infrastructure of boxing, like you want to be a cash cow, bro, that goes back, that goes all the way back to the days of Sugar Ray Robinson. And before him, they've always they've always been ticket sellers.
Okay, just one question. Who was the cash cow between Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank?
I think Eubank.
No,
No.
It was probably about
those were both world title holders.
But wasn't that the WBO that they had?
It was the Nigel Benn had the WBC and Eubank had the WBO. What I'm trying to say is, for us as UK fight,
Hold on, one at a time.
Skipping over fight. The first fight wasn't for the WBC, and the first fight was just WBO.
It was the WBO, and he lost to Chris Eubank.
Right. Well,
the second one. Chris Eubank had the WBO still. Nigel Benn went to America and beat who for the WBC, and he came to. Pardon?
But who did he beat? Was it Barkley for WBC?
Yeah, Iron Barkley of the US. Was that the IBF or no? It was the WBC. But what I'm trying to say is, for me, as a UK boxing fan, I knew that what do you call it? Chris Eubank could beat Nigel Benn again, but I was still behind Nigel Benn. Mm-hmm. But there was no such thing as cash cow. All we knew was, would they get it on or whatever. It's just like right now. For me, is it Crawford? I'm not trying to make it a big issue. Crawford is, if he concentrated on coming over to the places like UK and concentrated on boxing and forgot put Spencer on the side, he would be way better. It's just like if you go to I'm an AJ fan as well, but if you look at the person who's got gained the most is Tyson. As what do you call it? He's won the most titles, but I'm still gonna respect AJ for the way he's got the titles. At the end of the day,
I'm gonna say this, Handy. I don't disagree with your point. I see what you're getting at, because that's a universal principle too. That you focus on yourself, and everybody else, and focus on yourself. That's a universal principle, believe it or not. So I get that. But as far as the infrastructure of boxing, right? The layout has always been more or less the same. That you want to get a guy, he's top billing, he sells tickets, he puts asses in the seats, he gets preferential treatment. Sugar Ray Robinson got preferential treatment. Like, he got preferential treatment. He wanted a certain amount of money, or he ain't gonna fight. All right. So this is tel dem age in boxing. This is as old as boxing itself. So to say that the UK, to say they never had like cash cows back in the day, I'm not convinced that's completely accurate.
They always had cash cows from Billy Walker in the 60s. Yeah, he never made it to world. Right? Billy Walker is worth a fortune, bro, and he never won a British title. He lost to the likes of Henry Cooper and stuff like that. When he tried to fight the European title against the Southpaw, he got destroyed. They've always had cash cows. Always had cash. Ever since, right? Solomon's. Look, right. Let me just finish what I'm saying. I'm not going to be that long. Since when Jack Solomon's came into boxing, post-war Britain, 1940s, they've always had cash cows. Always.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay. Hey guys, can I just throw in a name here too? You forgot Lloyd Hunnigan. My bad.
Yeah.
Hey, the best. Hey, and don't count. Yeah, definitely best. The only undisputed Brit.
Hunnigan weren't really a cash. He was a talented fighter. He managed to become undisputed. He got all the fights he needed to, but he was never that popular over here, like endorsements and that. But He just managed to beat the pound for pound guy in his day, Don Curry. But that's Frank Bruno, Billy Walker, Henry Cooper, they're cash cows. Ali fought Henry Cooper twice over here. Why did you come over here? Because there's money over here. He fought him once and once at Wembley.
I'm going to say this. I think that a lot of people get confused as far as what the real nature of the problem is. Everybody thinks that the belts, right, are the nature of the problem. And everybody thinks that, oh, it's just the promoters and the managerial outfits that are the problem. But the actual problem in boxing, at least in America, is the networks. They're the problem.
Exactly. Well, what the? Yep.
It's the network.
And the racism, man.
Well, that too.
Honestly.
I mean, that too.
The
But
racism. Too much.
If we're going to get into, for example, why Crawford versus Spence is elusive, is because you have one outfit that's catering to Fox Sports, and then you have another outfit that's catering to ESPN. And it's because the sport is so fragmented and it gets covered in such a fragmented way that this is what creates the problems. The reason that I give a lot of heat to the PBC, however, is because their fighters don't even have network contracts. There's no exclusivity deal that says Spence has to fight on Showtime or Spence has to fight on Fox. That deal don't exist. Now, Mayweather, he did have a deal like that. He had a deal like that with Showtime. It was an exclusive deal. But all of the PBC's fighters, they don't have a deal like that. So when I see that you have the liberty, the legal liberty to fight wherever you feel like fighting and make your money, and you choose not to, well, then that's why I get pissed off. Because you could fight on ESPN. Fox has not made you a big cash guarantee. They haven't told you, yo, sign this contract and we got you for the next 6 fights. Or sign this contract and we got you for the next 3 years. They don't. PBC's layout is not like that. What they do have is a 360 deal with Al Heyman. And that's how you know, that's why you know he's blocking these fights, because he has right of first refusal. That maybe you get a fighter and he wants to have the fight, but you know what? Al won't let him have it anyway because he's making promises to Fox.
Can I break it down? Like, I don't want to sound like the clever clogs here, but let me break it down. Why you got Ben Eubank, Ben Watson, Eubank, and let me break that down from the 80s to the 90s. Why you got all them fights like that? Because if you're looking at Barry Hearn, Frank Warren, and even Mickey Duff. Them days, they didn't really have a lot of the fighters on long-term contracts, right? The promoters had TV deals. So if Frank Warren had Nigel Benn and Barry Hearn had Chris Eubank, well, if they couldn't deliver that fight, they'd both be letting down they didn't want to fall out with the TV network. So the fight would just be made. They would just make the fights. There was no, okay, you know what I mean? I'm going to play Cold War tactics with my stable. No, you have to deliver for the TV. You're basically working the same slot. Like in the Eubank and Ben rematch, that was a super middleweight. I think Ben won the title from the Italian guy. What happened was, right, Barry Hearn started the negotiations for that fight, but he couldn't get it over the line, right? They had to bring in Frank Warren. Frank Warren took it over, brought in Don King, and then they got it on ITV or whatnot and on Sky, because that's how it was back. The fight would end up on both Sky and ITV.
It was not on Sky, it was on ITV.
It was
ITV.
You sure
Sky is only just. This is where the problems just become when Eddie Hearn took over Sky and when what's his name took over
Barry Hearn.
We never had boxing problem in the UK until Barry Hearn took over Sky Boxing and Frank Warren took over.
Frank Warren used to run Sky. It was Frank Warren who brought Calzaghe.
Yeah, it was Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn in the beginning. But what I'm trying to say is now Frank Warren is on BT Sport.
All right.
Trying to promote that, and also Eddie Hearn is trying to keep. Sorry.
I want to ask Handyman, South London, and Boxing Beats this question: do you think that the boxing landscape in the United Kingdom, given how much money's coming into British boxing, because there's a lot more money coming into it now than there ever was before, there really is. Do you think that the British boxing scene is better or worse now than it was before? Because before, from where I was sitting, I wouldn't hear a lot about British fighters. You understand? Like I wouldn't know them. Now I know guys like Sam Eggington. I know guys like Ted Cheeseman, guys like Liam Smith. That you don't necessarily have to have a title to know who the guy is. Whereas before, you know, I couldn't have named 10 British fighters in the 90s. I couldn't have named them.
Well,
So,
All right.
Can I?
So to answer that,
Can I answer?
hold on. Let's start with South London because he hasn't gotten the chance to say much. Then I'm gonna pass it to Beats. Then I'm gonna pass it to Handyman. Go ahead, South.
So to answer that, I would say a lot of thanks and praise need to be headed in Eddie Hearn's direction, because I kind of feel like he revived the sport to the point where now the money that's in boxing now is even transferred to America. So now even Americans are getting big paydays now, whereas boxing went on a bit of a wane. Maybe during the Klitschko era, maybe other American boxers weren't getting paid like they're getting paid now. But because Anthony Joshua has done a lot for boxing, he's sort of brought it back and he's heightened all the people that fight on his undercards. Now people are looking like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? Oh, I like him. And then they start following other people's careers. So it's gone on like that. So I just think right now, British boxing is probably in the best place it's been in a long, long time.
What about you, Beats? Do you think British boxing is better or worse than it used to be?
It's hard to say because, like, the platforms are forever changing. Like, when Frank Warren done the first pay-per-view with Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson, it done huge numbers. And the pay-per-view system worked very well for Frank Warren with fights like that. When he bought Nassim Hamid into the pay-per-view thing, that worked very well. I bought several, and it was very popular because we were getting it on Sky and terrestrial TV. It was extremely popular. Then it went in a little bit of a slump post-millennium. And I'll tell you what, it's funny you're asking this question. I'm doing a video. And there's one fight. It's between Matthew Macklin and Jamie Moore. Mm-hmm. That fight amongst British hardcores has got almost cult-like status. There was only 1,400 people who turned up to watch that fight, right? If they made that fight today, it would sell out the Manchester Arena probably with MTK and Sky, because it was on Sky. So you'd have to say this is probably the biggest boom period of British boxing right now, from the Carl Froch to the Anthony Joshua era. You'd have to say, yeah. This is the biggest boom period.
All right, now I'm going to ask you, Handyman, compared to how British boxing used to be and where it's at today, would you say it got better or worse?
No, for me, I evolved with the, with the changes. I understand the changes. Like I said, boxing was on ITV and BBC One. They had to put up the money in the very beginning. Then when Sky took over with, with Carl Froch, etc., everything started changing. America, this is the thing about America. Britain, British or European boxing was more popular then, but like now, you don't hear the European title or the British title is not. No one is really going for it the way they used to. So then we didn't really care about the States, to be straightforward. We as Brits, we just enjoyed people fighting for what they were able. And that's why I said Lloyd Hannigan is one person that, for me, as a UK person, I give him the biggest respect, but most people don't even know who Lloyd Hannigan is. He's the first undisputed champion for the UK. Most people don't even know that. But for me, I appreciated boxing then, but right now is about competing with the US.
But see, I want to disagree with this, Handyman. This is what I'm going to say, right? Having watched boxing as long as I have, right? I'm going to say that British fighters actually got better. They got so good that they're world level now. They're not limited to the domestic market. You have world-class fighters coming out of the UK. The UK is dominating the heavyweight scene as far as I'm concerned. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, Dillian White. Derek Chisora is still running around knocking people out. He's still running around knocking people out. And what I think the difference is between then and now, hold on. What I think the difference is between then and now is the fighters got better. They got better. Before, they were limited to domestic level, whereas now these are world-class fighters, bro. So when you're world-class, you're at world level. I'm not going to say that they're focused on America because, honestly, you could sell a fight easier in the UK than you could in the US. So they ain't worried about us. I think it's world level now. You could
and the gates as well. The gates, like 90,000 on the gate.
Yo, look, hold on, honey, man. Look, check it out, too. Drake. Nah. It's a combination of exactly what Jay talking about, and then the lack of what American athletes are doing, because that dedication has declined here at the same time. So it gives them even more of a jump, just like the Eastern Europeans coming in. You know, it gives the other countries even more of a jump because they're still grinding and we're not, you know.
I'm going to give you an example of how the Brits are helping to grow the sport. And I know that everybody on here doesn't follow women's boxing as much as I do, right? But look at Eddie Hearn. He has Katie Taylor. He has Terry Harper. He has Shannon Courtenay. He has Jessica McCaskill. He has Chantel Cameron. And then that's not even all his girls, right? That's just what he's doing for the women. You understand? And many of these women, with the exception of Jessica, these are British fighters. These are British fighters with amateur backgrounds. So when I see this, what I see is that the British boxing scene, as far as their amateur and professional pedigrees, they got better. That they're ahead of the game. That's what it is. So if the situation becomes more convoluted, it's because before we had all the world-class fighters. Now the Brits, they've got a lot of the world-class fighters. And that's what really complicates the situation. That now you're competing against the world for the same titles. You're competing for the WBC, the WBA, the WBO, and the IBF. Whereas before, you were just fighting for the European title, or you might have just been fighting for the British title. Now it's you against the world. That's really what the difference is. But that's because the fighters got better, honestly.
I agree. And if you notice, man, I'm happy that you know, Britain boxing is on the map, because these guys have always been rough, rugged, you know, very competitive. And I'm glad that they're also showing the US exactly how the heavyweight division, as well as Julius just mentioned, you know, the women's as well. And people here in America as well got to start thanking Eddie Hearn, working with Bob Arum and others, because had it been not Eddie Hearn taking the sport by the fucking reins today, bro, it just would have been even worse. We would have got what we don't like about boxing now, and you see the cons that we have now. We would have had more cons than pros right now. So I'm very happy that, you know, we got Britain at the forefront right now, teaching a lesson to everybody, especially in America and every other country as well, that's slacking, as well as the other promoters that are just taking tables, you know, deals on the tables and shit, and you know, skipping and doing other things and rankings and stuff. And, you know, I'm just happy that they're out there just trying to be as clean as possible, and trying to be a a leader in the sport right now. And they're taking it to a place where we actually caught ourselves saying, "Oh shit, boxing's back," in a way, right? So we got to give props here, man. So
I'm gonna say the problem with the American boxing scene is it keeps living in the past. It keeps living in the past of when we sold all the pay-per-views or the Mayweather Pacquiao era. Times have changed, and that era is over. It's over, all right? Yep. We're not at the forefront of the sport. It's hard to sell a fight in America. That's the truth of it. You'd sooner sell a fight between two prospects, two unbeaten. Look at Daniel Dubois and Joe Joyce, right? Neither one of them are world champions. Neither one of them has a world title. But that's a great fight in the UK that could do very good numbers. If you took two unbeaten, let's say I put in Jermaine Franklin with Trevor Bryan. You think that fight is going to sell over here? No, you don't even know who those guys are. I could take two unbeaten prospects in the American heavyweight boxing scene, and Americans won't watch it because they don't know them. In the UK, at least the fans get to know the fighters on the way up. The Americans don't catch on to a fighter until he's accomplished already. That's not good for boxing because boxing needs money.
I mean, when you're saying that, like when you look at the Wilder fan base now, and it's so patriotic from that African American standpoint. But who was the first YouTuber to interview that guy?
Wasn't it a Brit?
Me.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that. Oh shit!
That's actually true. Beach was the first person on YouTube to interview Wilder. How many fights did he have at the time? 4?
That was about 2013, early 2013.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to claim from that group that, oh, I had the first interviews. No. Your interviews weren't till months, nearly a year after my first one. They jumped on. Listen, when I used to do videos with Wilder, and I'm talking, I've got 30, 40-minute videos with Wilder interviews, right? They used to be on the comment section from America. Oh, he's another Michael Grant. He can't do this. He can't do that. He can't do that. He didn't have that. I'm telling you, he didn't have that love back then.
No, he didn't. And they from 2009, 2008 when he debuted, from 2008 into 2016, they didn't know the guy. There's no debate. They didn't know the guy till Anthony Joshua had the Klitschko fight, and all of that talk started. That's when you started seeing Americans on the ground. Never mind the YouTube channels. Never mind the boxing groups. Until that fight, that's when you started seeing Americans on the ground asking, who's this Wilder guy? You know, who is he? He's our guy? He's our pony in the show? And it was because of Joshua's fight. It was because of Joshua's fight with fucking Klitschko.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
I knew Deontay after Wembley. After Wembley, that's when I knew Deontay Wilder. I didn't have a clue. I did not have a clue.
Yeah, and me, I knew Deontay
only after
hardly.
Wembley.
Yeah, I knew
After
him
Wembley.
Man, all I know, man. Sorry to
I
change.
didn't even watch it. I didn't.
No, I was just gonna say. Sorry, I'll just change it up a little. If Canelo fights Jason Quigley, that'd be horrible, man.
Yeah, that's
Bro,
horrible.
yeah, man. I mean, what's going on, bro? See, this is what I would like the Canelo fan base to understand about this here. You see, there are other guys that want to fight this guy that are worthy. Like Demetrius Andrade should be there, right? Yeah. And this is what I was getting to before I was cut off by Golden Boy. I have a guy who has a fighter. His name is Alfred Cavazos. He's a trainer and a manager of Samantha, I think Negron, right? And Golden Boy had offered them a fight. They have a habit and a track record of doing this. A month or a month and a half, they'll come to you and tell you you want this fight with this person, or they do it all the time, right? So now with this Canelo thing, it's like I heard that they reached out to I think it's Plant. They tried to reach out to Plant back then, and this is why he turned it down, because he said that it was like a month and a half, exactly what I'm saying. And other fighters have said this too, that Golden Boy offers them that. Now we all know it takes about 2.5 to 3 months, originally 3 months, to prepare for a fight. So that's like
I gotta stop you there, Kodo. I gotta stop you there because there was over 2.5 months when Golden Boy initially, when that conversation started, right? There were about over 2.5 months. There was enough time for an 8-week camp. I think there was more than 8 weeks at the time that they offered Plant to fight. His issue was, I just came from a camp. I just came off a camp, and now y'all want me to go right into another camp. Bro, it's an opportunity for you, bro. It's not an opportunity for Canelo, bro. It's not. It's an opportunity for you. And that's the problem with today's American fighters. Because if that was somebody else, they probably would have took it. I'm going to say this.
But let me ask you.
Let me say this.
Sure.
A lot is made about the time frame between Yard Kovalev and Canelo Kovalev. But you notice that Kovalev took the fight, right? He took the fight.
Yeah.
He took the fight. Now, he lost, and I expected him to lose, but he took the fight. Whereas you got to, no, I'm not taking it, because you don't believe in yourself. That's why. You don't believe in yourself. Everything has to be just so. Everything has to be, you don't believe in yourself. You don't back yourself to beat Canelo. You need all these pristine conditions when life is not pristine, bro. When you get an opportunity knocking at the door, you take it. That's if you believe in yourself. But if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to do what they doing.
No doubt, but also like let me ask you on the physical stage of the fighter, in this case Plant. Now, you know what he just said. He just got off of a fight and stuff like that. I really this is how I saw it through this perspective. I understood what he was saying because he just finished coming off of a fight as well as a training camp. So for him to just right away go in there, I think he would have felt drained and not drained. How do you say overtrained, overworked? You know what I mean?
Right,
And we see this too. You know,
yo,
guys,
let me
I mean,
rebuttal your point.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is
No,
how
I know. No, look, I hear you, but remember, he fought Vincent Fagan Boots, right? He took now. This is. Let's look at this objectively, right? He didn't take no punishment from Vincent Fagan Boots. That was a one-sided fight, right? And what Plant was saying is, oh, it's not the fight that's going to leave me tired. It's the camps. Aye, bro. Then you basically saying you don't want to fight then, because I mean, how pristine do the conditions have to be? Look, Fagan Boots I think he was a mandatory, but for all intents and purposes, that was a tune-up fight. I mean, like that was a tune-up kind of fight because that wasn't no world-class guy. So you telling me that you can have an easy fight where you don't even get lumped up like that, and that's still not enough time for you to fight Canelo? Bro, you making excuses. So what you gonna say if you have a hard fight with somebody and they offer you the Canelo fight? Let's say it was a difficult fight, it was competitive. You saying you ain't gonna take it. Why? Because I just watched you have an easy fight and you didn't want to take the Canelo fight. It was over 8 weeks. You got plenty of time to have an 8-week camp.
All right.
I
hear that. All right, now let's try to explain Canelo's side of how he's taking this fight now instead of other guys that are out there that already have wanted to, fight this guy that are worthy opponents. Like I don't understand this. This is crazy.
I'm looking at a comment, right? And I'm not saying I'm reading South London in the House's comment. What about Andy Ruiz? Didn't he fight 2 camps in a row to beat Joshua?
Yep. Short notice. That was short notice. I think. Look. Honestly, I don't like to reference that fight because Serafina, who used to work with Jarrell Miller, she already came out and said that Anthony Joshua was concussed. She confirmed it. So it's not so much that he won, but that he was willing to take the fight. Why? Because he's fucking hungry and he believes in himself. If you don't even want to get in there, you don't even want to get in there with him. You don't believe in yourself, bro. That's what it is. You don't think you could beat him. I don't like all fuckery aside. Look. Caleb Plant has a one-sided fight. He sustains almost no damage at the hands of Vincent Fagan Boots. That you could call that a tune-up fight if you want to call it that, because that's the kind of guy that it was. That's how it played out. So you could have an easy fight and you still don't want to fight Canelo. So what happens if you have a competitive match? You definitely not going to want to fight him after that. Like, oh, nah, that fight was too hard. You trying to catch me while I'm on the rebound. All right, but I tried to catch you when you had an easy fight. You didn't want to fight. It's like, come on.
Yeah, I feel you. I just saw it through the perspective of the physical, point of view of the fighter, because some fighters, like, they won't take a fight because they feel and they think ahead of time, okay, I just got off of something. Fight was easy, but going through that training camp again and then get into a fight, I can't really go through it. So of course they're not gonna come out and say it. Some are honest with us, and some are just hiding shit. And and that's the reason why I brought it up, because that's the way I saw it. But now that perspective has been put into play, I'm gonna watch that replay again and go by what the fuck his words were actually, because that's how I saw it. I just saw that.
Look at Billy Joe Saunders, right? Billy Joe Saunders talking about they playing mind games, bro. Shafat Isufi, Sarris, like, bro, you fought at cruiserweight, bro. It's all types like it's easy to go after Canelo. It's easy to go after him. But that's not reality. Reality is, look, he's the boss, bro. He's the A side. And in the 2000s and the 90s and the 80s, if you the A side, bro, I'm not gonna sit here arguing with you. I'm not gonna argue with you. You the A side. You sell more tickets than me. Your purses are always bigger than mine. What I want is the opportunity to beat you, not the opportunity to be paid by you, because that's what they want. They want the opportunity to be paid by Canelo, but they don't actually want to beat him, because if you want to beat him, look, never mind the purses, bro. I'm going to fuck you up, Canelo. I'm going to fuck you up real bad. You don't see it no more.
That was the mentality of the boxers in the past. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. Listen, do y'all guys remember Tucker versus Tyson?
Yep, Tony Tucker.
Listen, Tony Tucker went 12 with Tyson because of that mentality. He didn't go in the fucking ring intimidated by Tyson. He went in the ring to fuck Tyson up. And every round he was trying to fuck Tyson up, bro. That's why he went 12 with Tyson. I'm telling you, bro, these guys don't want it like that.
They don't.
A lot of these guys don't want it like that. When
That's
you
why I
want
love
it
the
like
Japanese.
that, boxing change, right
I'm gonna tell you what. That's why I love the little guys like Chocolatito, right? Chocolatito want to fight Estrada in a rematch. Estrada want to fight Chocolatito in a rematch. Chocolatito went as far as saying, not only do I want y'all to pay me, y'all need to pay Juan. We both deserve some money for this fight. But as far as the willingness to fight, they're like, yeah, I get in there with him. No motherfucking problem. You see that more from the little guys, the flyweights, the super flyweights, the bantamweights.
One of the best examples of that is Nonito Donaire. He's fought amazing fighters in every division, win, lose, or draw.
Yes.
Like he's fought a new way to Nicholas Walters in his prime, to Rigondeaux, to Carl Frampton, bro. Like he fought everybody.
That's why the little weights, the lighter weights, they don't get the love that they should to me, because them guys, you more likely to get a high level fight at flyweight and super flyweight than fucking welterweight. And I don't want to hear about Spence and Porter, because the only fucking reason y'all gave us Spence versus Porter is because you knew we wanted Spence versus Crawford. That's the only reason we got that fight.
When you think about it, right? Why do we need rematch clauses in modern day boxing? Because we know that without a rematch clause, there's a lot of dudes who are going to do some real chicking at his shit, right? I've got a split decision, man. I'm way better than you, and you're never going to give him a next fight. But when Ali was fighting, he fought Fraser 3 times. He fought Norton 3 times. You know, he fought everybody. You know, and it's the same thing now. Like back then, if Ali had a close fight with you, he's going to run it back. He's not going to say, no, I'm not going to run it. I'm going to run it back.
Bro, you wouldn't have to follow him to his house or follow him to the Walmart or the grocery store to get the fucking rematch. Like, bro, I want to have the rematch because it was fucking close. That's why I motherfuckers don't like my guy Floyd. But hey, my guy Floyd, if he had a close fight, we running that back. We running it back.
Castillo and Madonna both got another shot at it.
And that's what's missing. Look, and this is the other thing. I'm not gonna say that that's all of boxing. I'm gonna say that's American boxing that is facing that problem. Them Brits, I don't think. Look, them Brits ain't got that problem, bro. Because a lot of them want to be there. You understand? A lot of them guys, they want to fight. They want the.
Callum Smith better fucking run it back with John Ryder then.
Yeah, he should do. He definitely should. To me, if I want to fight like that, I'm not saying I wouldn't take the win. But if I didn't run it back, I feel kind of ashamed that to win like that and say, I don't need to. I'd have to run it back, man. I'd have to run it back and beat you more convincingly.
Because it wasn't that fight, like it was like a robbery in terms of it being close. Because it was a 7-5 fight. But everybody's dog, uncle, and mother had it 7-5 to Ryder. It was everybody had it that way, except those 3 judges. And I mean everybody had Ryder by a round.
Why is his trainer's name escaping me now? God, I'm getting fucking
Joe Gallagher.
Tesco Joe.
When you got Joe Gallagher snapping at reporters just for asking, just for suggesting that there should be a rematch, like, bro, that motherfucker ain't gonna happen, bro.
Do you know how I know it was a Ryder win? I found the changing rooms. I don't know if everybody remembers it. I'm sure Beats will. They went up and they asked Eddie what. He was asked, I think Darren Barker asked him or someone asked him, what was his scorecard? And Eddie just looked ashamed. He really looked ashamed. Yeah, and he was like, it was a close fight. I don't know. He looked ashamed, bro.
Oh, man. I love British boxing, though. Shout out to British boxing, man. Shout out to Shannon Courtenay. Shit. My God, that woman's cute. But yeah, man, like, look, I honestly believe that this is more of an American problem now than a world problem, because Sergey could have took the stance. Think about it this way, right? When Sergey was offered the Canelo Alvarez fight, he had more of a precedence to take the stance that Caleb Plant was taking, because I just came off a fight where I was getting hit, and I done been through the ring a couple of times. At that time, the name of Sergey Kovalev was more known than the name of Caleb Plant is here today. More people knew Sergey. but Sergey still took the fucking fight. Caleb, nah. Y'all trying to catch, like, how they trying to catch you slipping, bro? You just want an easy victory, and you still don't want to fight. You just don't, because you don't. I know what it is. You don't think you can beat him. Just that's what it is, bro. You don't think you can beat him. Billy don't think he can beat him. Bottom line. Now, you're not gonna tell me you clawing at your face for the opportunities to fight on big stages. It's not about the craft for you. It's just about the purses.
When you think like when Ali, man, would fight 5 times a year, you know what I mean? Like Norton and Frazier in 1 year, and then maybe a couple of also rounds in between that, 2 or 3 also rounds. How were they able to fight so much? Sugar Ray Robinson. Now, don't get me wrong. Over the long haul, there is a burnout period where it's going to take effect on you. And Tyson Fury was even alluding to that in an interview recently when they asked him, after you beat Wilder, you're going to go straight into camp against AJ. And he said, no, fighters don't do that no more because it's just too taxing on the body. But at the same time, man, I don't think that shit really kicks in for most fighters until they get old. Right now, guys like Tank Davis should be fighting 3 times a year. There's no doubt.
Bro, I'm gonna say this to Tyson Fury's point, right? Because I'm not inhumane. It's a tough job. So if you saying, yo, look, I don't want to go from one hard one right into another hard one, I'm not against, like, yeah, go ahead, take your time, bro, but have the fight. Now, when we talk about Caleb, you wasn't in a hard fight, bro. You fought Vincent Fagan Boots. If you ain't ready after Vincent Fagan Boots, then when are you gonna be ready?
And who did he fight before that? The guy he fought before that?
Mike T.
The fucking
Lee.
The Subway sandwich guy. You had 2 easy fights. If that ain't the perfect example, you fought Mike Lee, a no-hoper. Then you fought Vincent Fagan Boots. I think Vincent, admittedly, was a little bit more solid and more experienced at the world level than Mike Lee. But still, it was an easy fight. So you had 2 easy wins, and you still not ready for Canelo? Bro, you don't believe in yourself. You're never going to be ready for Canelo because you don't believe in yourself.
I tell you what pissed me off with Caleb more than anything, right? All right, you feel you need longer to prepare. You didn't even try and negotiate to get longer. You just, oh, no, I'm not taking the fight. Like guys like Billy Joe Saunders, whatever you weren't happy with, you didn't even try and negotiate to get it. No, I'm just not taking it. Like, what is that?
That lets you know that they don't want the fight, bro. It's the same thing like Danny Garcia when Bob Arum offered them the fight for Crawford. He didn't even attempt to negotiate or nothing.
Yeah.
That means they don't want the fight. And he already planned on fighting Spence. That's why he didn't entertain it. Well, he knew he wasn't going to entertain it because he planned on fighting Spence before he jumped in there with Granados. Yeah. They don't want to fight when they do that, man.
Yo, Julius, let me ask you a question, man. Who do you think they're going to announce for Terrence Bud Crawford's opponent, brother?
Honestly, my spider sense says Kell Brook because venues are set to open up in the United Kingdom the end of August to September. And that's Bob Arum's best chance to get Crawford, not just an opponent that people know, but to get some gate revenue, because I don't think at the end of August they're going to open up venues in America.
It's October in the UK, by the way.
It's October? They said no. They said that this is what because I just did a video about it. They said October, but they're gonna do pilot events at the end of August and September to fill things out.
Right, and then you can go Joyce too, Dubois.
And if you think about it, Crawford's return is set for November, right after October. So Bob is going to look at that like, look, if we trying to get some gate revenue, we better go to the UK because the situation in America is, the caseloads are going back up. The positive tests are going back up. Whereas in the UK, Boris Johnson, he going to let motherfuckers sit down and watch fights. So maybe we need to
get a spike out here. That's if we don't get a spike out here as well, though.
Yeah, we're all kind of like waiting on what's going on, but like even in the UK, like. How big is Kell Brook's name right now in terms of the ticket sales? Would him and Crawford bring something in right now? Cal's not been on the tip of everybody's tongue in a while.
Well, let's say this, and this is why I like Eddie Hearn. Maybe he dresses up the undercard. I've enjoyed more of Eddie Hearn's undercard fights, right? Comparatively, when we talk about making a whole card, not just a main event and some bullshit. All right. I've enjoyed more of Eddie Hearn's undercards than many other undercards from Top Rank or PBC or Queensbury. So I'm thinking if Kel's name alone is not enough to sell the fight, maybe you have the winner of Cheeseman versus Eggington fighting someone else. I don't know, maybe Anthony Fowler or some shit. Maybe you have them fight.
I'll tell you what would be good on that undercard, to be honest with you. Like that rematch that they've been talking about for a long time between Anthony Fowler and Fitzgerald, or the possibility of even what's his name? Oh, hold on.
Mind.
Possibly put O'Hara Davies on that card with Tyrone McKenna beats, the Golden Contract final. Putting that on the just something like that, because that's got kind of like a bit of needle to it, and they can do tickets, those two guys.
I mean, it would be nice if Fitz hadn't lost his fucking mind. That would have been nice, but ain't Fitzy the one that lost his fucking mind and punched the bitch in the face?
Allegedly.
I love that word.
Allegedly. He lost his mind, man. Fitz. Well, I remember
he lost his mind, but it's still alleged. There's been no proof that he punched her in the face.
I remember. I'm not even talking about that. Forget about whatever the transgression with the girl. I weren't there. I'm talking about. I remember listening to him speak as an amateur, and his voice was as clear as anything in his diction. And then when I stepped in, I
love Fitzy, man. Fitzy's the most coked out fucking fighter I've ever seen, man. That dude is coked up.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, ring IQ.
Yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm here.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm a great fan of yours anyway.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Peace, bro.
But yeah, like I think that comparatively, right? If you tried to do Brook versus Crawford in America, sadly, you won't do a lot of numbers with that. You have a better chance. I'm not saying it's a big fight. I'm saying you got a better chance of selling that fight in the UK.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Crawford's a bigger name in the UK than he is in the US.
Yeah, he might be.
If they hold that fight with Brook in Sheffield, I think Brook can still do big numbers. I think, or in the North, or at the O2. There's a few venues where they could probably do good business with Crawford and Brook.
Yeah, like you can't sell that fight out here, man. Look, Sean Porter. If nothing else shows you that Americans ain't that we ain't shit, the Sean Porter Errol Spence numbers should have been bigger, because you should have fucking known that Sean is gonna put up a fight, bro. That dude, like, this ain't Mikey Garcia, bro. That's gonna be a good fight. That fucking fight did less pay-per-view buys than the Mikey Garcia fight. It's obviously a better fight.
How many pay-per-view boys did Khan and Crawford do?
I heard 160, but it could be less.
Oh, fuck, that's bad.
That's terrible. It's fucking terrible. But
that's ridiculous.
The basic idea is Americans are so out of touch with the sport. They don't know what the good fights are. Like, you gotta fucking tell. Like, you don't understand that Sean Porter is not an easy out for no. You don't understand that shit. It's because you don't follow the sport. Then that gotta be it. Because I'm like, how the fuck do more people end up buying big ass welterweight versus low ass lightweight instead of a good even fight between two world champions? It's
twisted. I mean, no, I like Terence Crawford, but it like certain factions in America are just hustling backwards. How are you on 3 million guaranteed a fight and you can't do 200 pay-per-view buys? How?
Well, this is the thing. You got to remember when the deal was made. The deal was made at a time that ESPN deal, right? The deal was made at a time when Crawford's stock was on the up and up. That was around 2018. He's doing good numbers on TV. He's doing real good TV ratings. He was unifying, or in the process of unifying the division. He was a unified champion. That's when they made that deal. That's when they made that deal, when he was on the up and up. It hasn't panned out well since, I'm going to say, after the Benavidez fight, because he did great numbers for the Benavidez fight. It's the Khan fight that was like, all right, what the fuck? But that should have never been on pay-per-view. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it should never have been. No way.
You can't ask people for $80 for Amir Khan. Like, come on. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Like, I'll
Was
be honest.
Canelo Khan pay-per-view?
Oh yeah, it was. It did 600,000 buys though.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's insane shit. Insane.
600,000 people paid to see that?
What if I told you 1 million people paid to see Chavez?
That's true. That's true. That's true. But you know, that makes more sense to me.
Two Mexicans.
It's
Chavez
two Mexicans, and it's even though I don't like Chavez, right? Chavez got more of a chance of beating Canelo than Amir Khan.
Look, hey, let's say this. Can we agree on this? Amir Khan put up more of a fight against Canelo than Chavez did. All Chavez did was get punched in his face. That's literally it. That's all he did.
We can agree on that. Can we also agree that if Chavez punched Khan, he'd take his head off the shoulders?
Oh yeah, I mean it's shit. I think we can agree on that. I think that. The Chavez career is over, by the way. He's been banned by both the Nevada State Athletic Commission and the Arizona State Athletic Commission. That's likely going to trickle down to all the other commissions because when Vegas bans you, you're pretty much banned.
Yeah, everywhere follows suit. When Vegas ain't interested, everywhere. The only place he might have a hope is probably Texas.
I think he has to fight in Mexico to get a fucking fight at this point. He'd have to fight in not that I want him to fight because I don't want him to fight. I want him to retire.
And Mexico isn't even commissioning fights right now.
Well, no, they are. There was a couple of small cards from Zanfer the last, I'll say 3 weeks. They were staging a couple of small cards.
Then what happened with Berchelt?
I know that God, with this fucking fight. Navarrete's last fight, even though it wasn't commissioned, because it wasn't commissioned, so they turned it into a no contest. That shit doesn't even reflect on his record. But you could still have fights though, because he had a fight. I mean, he did have a fight. It doesn't show up on his record though, or it doesn't count as a win in the win column. But I don't want Chavez fighting anyway, so that's good riddance to bad rubbish.
Hey, Chavez and Jacobs was a good fight.
It would have been.
It was a good fight until the bullshit stoppage.
It would have been. When I saw Chavez size next to Jacobs, who doesn't normally look small next to somebody, I was like, all right. And when he was applying pressure, he's walking him down, throwing punches. All right. And he got hit a couple of times. All right, fuck this. I'm going home. Fuck this.
Yeah.
There's a bowl of Fruit Loops waiting for me in the kitchen. Fuck this. Like, bro, like that.
But it was edging up nicely. That fight was starting to it was starting to edge up really nice, man.
No, it was, but it went the way that not because Korobov didn't quit. He got quote unquote injured. So because that fight looked like it was heating up too. Korobov Eubank. I was actually waiting for that fucking fight, man.
I was looking forward to it. That's the fight I was really in because. Matty Korobov is one of the most underrated boxers around. Like he's just a very good boxer.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and you're not gonna like it. I'm gonna ask all you guys a question. Sergey Didivianchenko, Matvey Korobov in an elevator. Who wins? Mark.
Derevianchenko in an elevator. Derevianchenko, he beats him up and he knocks him out. Probably puts him through the wall.
I think Sergey's more durable than Matvey.
I think he's a way better inside fighter, man.
Derevianchenko will win inside the elevator. In a wider space, then Korobov gets more of a chance. But even then, I'd pick Derevianchenko.
Exactly what Beat said. We're in an elevator? Hell yeah.
I'm going to say Matvey, I think, is – and I don't even know if I could say that he's a better boxer than Sergey because Sergey's underrated. Because they got different ranges, the both of them. They got different sweet spots. But I view Sergey as being more durable than Matvey at this point. Right now, he's more durable. He takes a better punch, better condition. Matvey, he's kind of falling apart.
I tell you what, man, that Charlo wants me to start gambling again because if he fights him, I'm picking Derevianchenko.
I'm looking at those odds, and if I see anything that's like 2-1 on Derevianchenko, I'm betting, mate. I'm betting.
Yeah, he could lose. I mean, Jamal could lose that fucking fight, bro. Like,
That's a good fight though. That's a good ass fight if that happens. I like that.
I like the fight. Even though he's coming off a loss, like I really wish he would have got the chance to get a tune-up, but you know, it is what it is. I still like that fucking fight, man. Charlo not really a combination puncher, not at least not as much as Sergey. For every one punch you throw at this guy, he's gonna throw 3.
Look, even though he's coming off of a loss, right? He gave Golovkin one of the toughest fights of his career. And he gave Jacobs one of the hardest fights of his career, right?
Yes.
I think he is more proven in those 2 losses at middleweight than Charlo is in his entire career. So I think even if he's coming off of a loss, there's more credit in that loss than there is in difficult fights with the likes of Brandon Adams.
Yes, I agree with that.
The only downside I have for Derevyanchenko is the scar tissue around his eyes.
Yeah,
understood.
But for what it's worth, he's really not a bleeder. He's not a bleeder. I mean, he's not Linares status. He's not Rosado status.
He's a slow starter, though. He really is, man.
Bro,
that guy can get caught. Cold.
Rosado bleeds like fucking Mei Ling, son. Wow, that's
You bleed good like Mei Ling.
Yep.
Yeah, man. You call him Mei Ling, B. That's disrespectful. He bleeds like a hymen. Ow.
Do you remember Rosado versus Arias? Do you remember Rosado versus right? First of all, Rosado won that fight, and do you want to know how you know he won that fight? Because he only had one black eye, and that was it.
Yeah, he wasn't bleeding. I don't know.
He wasn't cut. He wasn't cut, so he won.
I would have liked to have seen Gabe get that victory. I remember when he fought Glenn Tapia. When Gabe fought, I was actually cheering. Like I was legit. Like, come on, Gabe, you can fucking do it. He dropped him. I was like, yeah.
Man, I thought of throwing one of the Charlos. I can't remember which one it was. I didn't. It was doing Charlo one. I thought it was a draw. It looked like a draw to me.
I think that was Jermel.
Fighting even.
I think Rosado wants it with Jacobs.
Yeah, but I don't want to see that shit. Please don't take me from fucking Chavez. I don't want to see that shit. Give me Daniel Jacobs, John Ryder, UK venue. I'll take it. You want to prove yourself at 168, you fight the gorilla. You fight John Ryder. If you can beat that guy.
Well, I mean, they're not going to make that fight. Both parts, I mean, because there's no belt at stake, and it's a tough fight in either way. I mean,
yeah, but he has to get in line to fight for a title. Jacobs is not a mandatory to nobody.
How much is that going to tax off each fighter's body? I mean, neither of them. I don't think they're going to make it. I'd like to see it. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't see that type of fight happening.
All right, I'll tell you what. Then you can't give me Jacobs versus Ryder. This is what you give me. You give me Jacobs versus Smith for the WBA Ring Magazine title at the O2 Arena. I take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean,
I'll go to it. I'd go. I'd go.
I don't know that Callum can beat that guy. I don't know. I literally do. Danny might have enough to beat him. Then again, Danny might get his ass knocked out. That's the other side of that.
Jacobs.
I like that fight though.
I'm not gonna say Jacobs looks shot against Canelo, but the sharpness ain't there.
Rehydration might have had something to do with it, though. I'm not complaining, and I'm not complaining at all because I you know that fight has been brought to me a lot. That what do I think about the rehydration clause? What I think is that's the same kind of clause you fought Sergey with, right? And you beat Sergey, right? Right. So no excuses. But if he looked flat, if we're just talking about reasoning that he looked flat, yeah, he did look flat, and I think it's because you know he couldn't gain more than 10 pounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's up to the fighters if they're going to sign up to let Canelo do that to them. I mean, look, if Canelo tries to do that to Smith, I understand Smith and Saunders pulling out, but they're not even giving the negotiations a chance, man. So I don't get it.
It's really disappointing. It's really disappointing when one of the main A-sides in all of boxing, like one of the top 3, that's like active. It's him, Pacquiao, and Joshua. They're the 3 biggest like cash cows. When one of those guys is giving you career high paydays, and you're saying, "No, I ain't taking on you, bro. I need 27 weeks to fight you. Get out of here." That's a problem, especially when that fighter is consensusly across like most fucking media outlets, top 3 pound for pound, and on one of the biggest ones in media, Ring Magazine, he's pound for pound number 1.
It's
Tell you what, man, you saw that leverage tactic, the A side guy. Look what happened to Deontay Wilder and Vivian Harris when they tried. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea, in my opinion, man.
I like that Vivian Harris reference.
I'm gonna say if Callum Smith next opponent is not someone interesting, like, you know what, I could live if you decide not to fight Canelo now. Okay, fine. You better fucking fight somebody with a pulse your next fight. That's all because I'm fucking tired of it.
Look, if either Billy Joe or Callum Smith's next opponent is Zach Parker, I am sending an email to Matchroom.
Oh shit!
Live on air, I'm sending an email to Matchroom.
I want
Mark's writing a letter.
Is it going to be a strongly worded letter?
Yes, it is. It's probably going to get me banned from all events. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it. Them two should be. I'm not okay with them feeding. Parker's garbage. I'm not trying to be rude to the kid, but he's garbage, right? I'm not allowing it. I can't be having it up here. I can't be having a guy like Zach Parker fighting against those guys when his best win's a fucking robbery anyway. And he go in there and fight against them. They should be fighting each other, or Canelo, or Smith should be fighting against Ryder, or you know what I mean? Billy Joe, he can go for fucking Eubank. I don't care. Danny Jacobs, have it. Jacobs fucking Saunders. Smith versus Ryder. What a fucking, that's grand. Fucking Zach Parker versus Billy Joe Saunders. Get out.
Billy has options. Callum has options. If they both decide that they don't want to fight Canelo now, all right, motherfucker. All right. But you better fight somebody with a fucking pulse then. It don't have to be Canelo. You know what? Fight Daniel Jacobs. Fight Demetrius Andrade. They talking about Andrade moving up in weight to challenge you for your WBO title. You better fucking fight somebody because it's time. Isufi, Coceres, the fucking cruiserweight fight, like, bro, like, it's time, bro. Callum, you fucking fought Hassan Endam. And you're like,
that was bad. That was bad.
It was ridiculous. He looked like he was fighting a welterweight.
That was terrible.
It's open season. The same motherfucking heat that I be giving Keith Thurman on a regular day basis. Yo, they got to get that, bro. And
you know what?
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. On that card, right? Like, there's a guy who I can't stand watching him fight. I hate him. Josh Kelly, right? Everybody knows I passionately dislike Josh Kelly, right? He had a tougher. He took on a more credible, tougher opponent in his weight division actively with Ray Robinson on that card than Callum Smith did against Hassan Endam.
Yes, he did.
That's sad when a prospect is doing it.
I want to blame Joe Gallagher.
Let's go, Joe.
Because if Callum has this prima donna demeanor, I feel like it's coming from Joe. That's who I think is responsible for that. But at the same time, I can't put it on him. You the fighter, bro. Do you want these fights or not? Do you want them or not? Why the fuck would you fight? Like, why would you be fighting Hassan Endam, bro? I don't like who decided that. Who decided that shit?
I don't know, man. All I know is I think Callum Smith has been horribly overrated. I mean, his best win is a very good win on paper, right? It's George Groves. George Groves, fantastic fighter, right? Fantastic fighter. Yeah. That win, though, let's give it a bit of context. George Groves was an older fighter.
Yes, injured.
He was coming off of a dislocated shoulder, and in all honesty, at the end of that fight, he was taking a beating with Eubank, right? He's an older fighter. He has a long layoff. He comes into the ring coming off of an injury, and he's beating Callum Smith. He was beating him. And then he got hit with a couple of punches, and that was it because gas tank went.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to train fully for the fight. This is all true. Context is pivotal. When I talk about like Kell Brook, right, fading against Errol Spence, I've mentioned those things as well. He was coming down in weight, off of a fractured eye socket and a stab wound to the leg.
Well, you know what? See, this is the thing about Callum. The reason that he ended up being overrated, right, is because compared to the other guys that were there at that time, he was doing more. Zerto fought Jesse Hart 2 times and who else, right? when he was down there at 168. David Benavidez is at that time the most solid guy that he had fought was Ronald fucking Gavril. IBF title. Who had it? James DeGale had it, and James was looking shot. James, he had the true.
Yeah, James vacated.
Yeah, James vacated Uskateki. He ends up with the title. Everybody ends up high on him because they think he scared James into throwing his belt, which he did, which I believe he did, honestly. I believe he did. He scared James into vacating his title. Or maybe just, it's because James wanted a bigger money fight with Chris Eubank. However you want to put it, he vacated it. But at that time, when you look at what was going on at that time compared to, Callum Smith, he's fighting George Groves, you had to give him props. It's just that you've been riding that scooter for too fucking long. Like, you haven't done anything since then. At all. I don't know why does he even have the Ring Magazine title still? Because, you haven't fought a top 10. No, matter of fact, yes, he did. He fought John Ryder.
John Ryder was ranked number 10 on Ring Magazine.
He fought John Ryder. I forgot. John Ryder's top 10. But you didn't beat him, though. Did you beat that guy?
Hey, that's a good question. Let's go around the panel. I'll start with Julius. Do you think Callum Smith beat John Ryder?
I'm gonna tell you what I said in my award-winning post-fight recap. I got 2 ESPY awards for this recap. I didn't see Callum win. No, I didn't see John win, and I didn't see Callum lose. I saw him look like shit. But I can't say that John did enough for me to have. I didn't give it to John. I think it should have been a draw.
Okay.
To be honest.
Okay. D. Jefferson, do you think Callum Smith beat John Ryder?
No.
No?
I think it was a draw or a split decision to Ryder.
Okay. Kodo, who do you think won, Ryder or Smith?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't sit back and watch that, man. At that time, bro, I was pulling in fucking graveyard shifts, bro.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But I'm gonna thank you because that's another match that I gotta put on my list as to who to see get punched in the face. I have a list like that, so I'm definitely gonna throw that up in there. Thank you, fellas.
Beats.
I had Ryder shading it, but could have went.
Who's the dude with the purple circle and the J in it?
That's South London. Yeah, South London.
South London. Who did you have one in that fight, bro?
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
Who did you have one in the fight between John Ryder and Callum Smith, bro?
Ryder, obviously. Ryder was doing it.
I love that because look. All I'm saying, John gave him trouble. I see that John gave him trouble, but I didn't see Callum lose. I saw him be ineffective. I saw him look kind of flat. I don't know what the hell happened to his jab, but I guess John's a good fighter at the same time, so that's what happened to your fucking jab.
Jay, check it out. Look, this is the thing, and this is why I say you gotta either call it a draw or you gotta shade it to Ryder because Ryder's pushing the action. Ryder was landing on the inside, which I don't think a lot of people see when they were in there on the inside. Ryder was landing good, clean shots on Smith.
He was.
Like Smith was trying to continuously break, and he was getting work done on the outside. And this is, I guess, what the Ryder people don't see. When he did get the break, that's when he was getting his work done. And judges are scoring that. So, to me, a fight like that has to be a draw, or if I look at who did more work in that fight, I mean, we got to be honest. Ryder did more work.
There's one other thing. There's one other thing.
Ryder.
There's one other thing Ryder did in that fight that is very important. He took. Oh my god.
Mark, I wanted to ask you about this fight.
I'm not discussing it.
You're not good. Come on, we gotta talk about this fight. Come on, Mark. You want to talk about the fight?
Epstein by a landslide, bro.
Epstein's been training with Reynoso. He's fucking serious, man. He's had a good
Epstein
camp.
didn't kill himself.
No, BFTV didn't kill himself.
He killed his channel.
Oh shit! This again.
I was just gonna say,
Power jab.
John Ryder took away a lot of Callum Smith's natural advantages in the fight, and that was important for me.
Yeah.
Very important. I gotta be honest, that's one of the most beautiful, brilliant uses of the double up jab I've seen in a very long time in boxing from Ryder against Smith.
Mhm.
It was stunning to watch. I think even Beats talked about it a lot in depth as to how fucking good it was.
I didn't realize you had such a powerful jab. I said, what the fuck's that? What the hell?
All right, I'm gonna ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys a question. I'm a fan of this fight. I already said it several times. Canelo Alvarez versus John Ryder. Do you like that fight?
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, I like the fight.
I like that fight. Please
I know
don't-
who wins the fight, but I like the fight.
Right. I
It's
said
still a
it's
good
a
fight.
fight that needs to happen. I love that fight.
To me, if I gotta compare John Ryder to broken down Lemieux or middleweight Derevyanchenko, no, give me John Ryder. I'll take John Ryder versus Canelo Alvarez.
Here's one though. Here's one. I got asked this question by somebody, so I'll put it to you, gentlemen. Right? I'll start with D. Canelo's next fight. There's two people who'll take it. Right? Which one do you pick? John Ryder, okay,
Mm-hmm.
or Chris Eubank Jr.
Oh, damn. Wow. That's interesting.
That's a good question.
Ryder. I'm still going to go with Ryder.
Okay. Kodo, Ryder or Eubank to fight Canelo?
If they fight Canelo, I'm gonna have to go with Eubanks because he's been working real hard and he's been getting some schooling from Roy Jones Jr. as well. And even before that, we know he was pretty good because Billy Joe Saunders ducked him. You know what I'm saying? He deprived him from a fuck rematch as well. We all know this. So I mean, I got to give the kid his respect. I mean, he did a little fuckeries, I think about 2 or 3 bouts in his career, but everything else he has improved. So I think he would give Canelo a bit more problems.
South Korea trolling. He said he think John Ryder win the fight with Canelo.
You better get the hell out of here. You better get the hell out of here.
Corey, stop that, man.
South London. Who would you rather see fight Canelo next? If both of them confirmed they'll fight him, which one would you rather have, Eubank or Ryder?
I would go with Eubank just because, Eubank is a slightly bigger name, and Eubank is he's just offensive. That's all he knows how to do. I think defensively he's not as good. So maybe somebody who's going to put Canelo under a bit of pressure would be ideal for me.
Okay. Beats?
Well, I'm gonna make no hesitate. I'm going for Eubank, man. Like partly because I followed his dad since the 80s and watched stuff, and he's coming off a win against DeGale, who didn't lose his belt in the ring and retired DeGale, the former world champion.
That's true. Chris Eubank Jr., for all intents and purposes, is the lineal IBF champion.
If you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit.
He is though.
Hey, you guys say Tyson Fury's the lineal champion. You ain't got no shit. You know what I mean?
DeGale didn't lose his belt. Look, DeGale didn't lose his belt. To beat the man, you got to beat the man, and Eubank beat him.
Eubank didn't take no peds.
All right. Look. If it comes right down to it, right? It depends on what you want to see. Because John, I feel John is trickier. John is gifted in the offense department. He's very good offensively. I think he could give Canelo a tougher time than Chris could, believe it or not. Chris is target practice. So it depends on what you want to see the night of the fight. If you want to see somebody get knocked out, you go Eubank. If you want to see somebody that's going to give Canelo a problem, you go Ryder. Because I do believe John Ryder would give him a problem. You're not gonna. That guy's solid. You're not just gonna. You're not just gonna. You just not gonna beat the shit out of him, dog. Like that.
Can I comment on that? Yeah. I think John Ryder, can win more rounds against Canelo, right? I do think that. But I also think John Ryder is more likely to be stopped than Eubank is.
What?
I believe that because Eubank's chin is very, very strong. And I have seen Nick Blackwell knock out John Ryder.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
I see Blackwell take out Ryder. Yeah.
That's fair. That is fair.
The same Nick Blackwell who was put into a coma versus Eubank.
No, I forgot that they fought. I forgot that before Blackwell called it a career. That is before the doctors told him to. I forgot they fought.
And I kind of feel like Eubank, he's got quite good work rate, and obviously, as my man said, he's got a good chin. So
no jab. He has no jab.
And maybe that's the only thing. People will outbox him.
Yeah,
Wait,
but that's a big
he
thing.
didn't have a jab against the girl. He used the jab against the girl.
The Gale was shot, Beats. Let's not lie to each other.
He beat the girl, man. The girl was IBF champion.
Come on, Beats. He was shot from the truth. Come on, Beats.
Groves beat him with one arm, though.
Kovalev was shot as well. And we're gonna go there.
Well, you know what? I'm not against that. You might be right. He might. Just I can agree that Kovalev looked shot. I can agree with that.
You know what?
Only if the Gale looked shot, though. Only.
You know what though? Eubank did lose to a one-armed Groves, and Groves is pretty much the greatest nearly man in super middleweight
He
history.
one-armed in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah. Still one-armed. At the end of that fight, how many arms did he have?
He had one.
What, for the whole fight? No, he had one arm for the last 2 rounds is when he injured his arm.
Okay. Let's move past that, right? He did beat him with one arm though. He only threw that like straight right a few times. He mostly just used the jab beats the entire fight.
I thought that fight was a lot closer than what they had it as well.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
I thought, Eubank won the last 3 rounds, and I thought Groves won the first 8, and then the 9th round is a
He
question.
didn't win no 8 rounds. No.
I think Beats is known Chris and his dad since the 80s, and he's a little partial.
Nah, I don't agree with that at all.
I'm just picking with you, man.
He like, listen, Groves was throwing jabs and they weren't landing, and then look at Groves' jab, and then when the cut, look, he cut him up with a jab. Slow motion replay. Head clash.
I'm gonna end up watching that. I'm gonna end up watching that fucking fight again, man. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up watching Groves versus Eubank again. But I'm gonna tell you what.
Groves won the fight.
It was a good. To me, it was a good shellacking. It was a good boxing lesson because the whole time I was watching that fight, I was losing my mind because I picked Chris to win. That is one of the more embarrassing predictions I've ever made. Ever.
Bro, don't hurt yourself too bad. I had Audley Harrison to beat David Hay.
Jesus Christ. You was drinking that day, Mark?
Yes, a lot, actually.
Hey, Mark, Jay, what's the probability of Tanaka and Naoka fighting?
Right, so let me cover this. This is according to like the main guy. The main guy at AsianBoxing.info. He said that according to stuff, the fight is looking excessively likely, and it's going to happen in one of these 2 months because that's the best commercial times for Japan. It'll either be September or December.
I want my money in quarters.
Okay, so you guys are decided, right? Y'all got y'all pick and play.
Yeah, we decided. We decided way before this fight was even happening. We decided before they even fought the last fight.
Yeah.
Yo, Ring.
So everybody, hold on, Jedi. I want everybody on the panel to say who they think would win that fight. Tanaka versus Ioka.
Yo, Ring.
Julius pick is. I want everybody else's pick.
Yo, I hope you're not betting a lot because Ring just said he wants his money in quarters.
Yeah, I want my money in quarters.
Yo,
Case quarters.
Yo,
that's 80 coins. That's 80 coins.
I want my 80 coins because, and me and Mark talked about this, right? And Mark knows this. He acknowledges it also. there's a chance that even if Tanaka doesn't really win, like really, that if it's competitive, because Tanaka is the younger fighter and has more upside, they might still give it to him. Tanaka stands a chance to make Japanese boxing fucking history. The fastest 4-division champion in the history of boxing, right? I think he's going to kick Kazuto's ass. I think Kazuto's going to make a fight of it, but I do think Kazuto's going to get his ass kicked. But even
I think Kazuto's got too many nuances, man.
Look, man.
So, all right, hold up, you guys, because I know what you guys think. Kodo, what do you think? I go Tanaka.
I have to go with Ioka.
You going with Ioka?
My man, Kodo. Bah.
Beats. What you think, fam?
I ain't got a clue.
You don't have a clue?
Nope. I ain't got a clue.
Hey.
I have to do some studying both of them.
All right, I'm gonna tell you which fights to watch. I'm gonna tell you which fights to watch. Watch Kazuto Ioka versus Ashton Palikte, and watch Kosei Tanaka versus Sho Kimura. I like saying Sho Kimura. It feels like I'm talking about a samurai. Sho Kimura.
Shokamura.
It's a hell of a name.
What you think? Ioka or Tanaka? He there? I guess not. Well, is he there?
I mean, he's there, but is he there?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I guess that's Beast don't know. Oh, damn, Jay. Doug, I think Ioka gonna win that fight.
He not.
Hold on.
This is making my cock hard. Go on.
Not only do I think Ioka's gonna win that fight, I think Ioka's gonna win that fight pretty convincingly.
Whoa.
I don't.
No, seriously.
Hey, hold on, real fast. D, have you been doing a lot of film study on this shit?
Yeah, because y'all two been yakking about it, so I'm like, oh fuck, man. Let me check this out. Let me check.
Yo, to be honest, that's exactly what I did too, bro. These two motherfuckers going at it had me curious, bro. I had to go back and I'm still watching stuff, bro.
Listen, what y'all not thinking about is, all right, how old is Kazuto now?
31.
31. When's the last time he had a fight?
19. What?
Last year, 20. Was it August?
August.
Yeah, August.
Right,
Yeah.
so talking about 31-year-old guy hasn't had a fight in roughly a year, or it will be by the time he fights Kosei. He's got a wife and a kid. You know, he has a wife and a kid now. That's the stage of life that he's in. Before he beat Ashton Palikte, right? Before he beat that guy, he was going to retire. He's going to walk away because that's where he is in his career. He's a 4-division champion already. You understand? I think Kosei wants it more. I don't think that Kosei's a better boxer than Kazuto. I think he's a better physical specimen at this point than Kazuto. And I think he's going to work that guy.
The kids, I'm going to tell you like this, Jay. It's going to be Tanaka's issue. And this is just my assessment. First and foremost, balance is going to be his big issue, bro.
Uppercut is going to be Kazuto's issue because he's going to uppercut that man's fucking head off.
Look, that kid's balance is going to get him in trouble. And Ioka, he has so many dimensions. I don't see. He comes with so many different tools. I'm not seeing.
What I like about Kazuto is the angles that he uses. He throws punches from better angles than Kosei. He throws punches from better angles than Kosei. But what I'm saying is by the time y'all fight, because that's what's next, you gonna be flat. He young. That layoff don't hurt him, but it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt you. You 31 years old, you fucking your wife, doing shit. It's gonna hurt you.
I'm just saying, right? The key to this fight, I think, is going to be how can Kosei deal with those body punches?
Yep. Now,
that's the key.
Unanimous decision. I got a unanimous decision, and I think Ioka probably 9 rounds or more, maybe 9 rounds.
I genuinely think Kosei will take a knee during this fight from body punches.
It could be.
These motherfuckers need to fight because I need Mark's money.
I've already said what I am going to. I know exactly what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that $20. I'm going to order a Kosei Tanaka T-shirt, right? And I'm going to upload me setting that shit on fire with the Ring IQ logo on it.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I'm telling, like, yo, dog. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Don't get too attached to this fight. We're still friends afterwards, right? But don't get, because I'm telling you, he's gonna fucking, and y'all gonna be like, I'm not disagreeing with Julius on shit ever again. I'm not disagreeing with on shit.
No, I probably still will, but
I will.
I'll give you your props on this. I still probably will disagree with you on the next fight, but you know, man, I love fights like this. I just think it's this old lion versus the new cousin.
That's exactly what it is.
Coming in, and this is a great fight, man. I just think that the old lion got enough to run the pride, dog.
The good thing is that Kazuto, which I love about this fight, it ain't like he's like, how could I compare it? Like, he certainly isn't where James DeGale was when Eubank fought him, and he's not where Chavez was when Oscar fought him. Kazuto is still on the up and up, and then that's what I like about the fight.
Right.
But with the layoff, because I already picked Tanaka before COVID shut everything down. With the layoff, that really drives the point home for me. Like, this dude's 31 years old. You've been on the couch for like a year by the time you fight this guy. You got a family that you want to raise and all of that. You're already accomplished. You're a 4th division champion. I don't think you want it as bad as Kosei.
All right, Julius. Crawford, Virgil.
I go Crawford.
Okay, see, Virgil wants it.
But the reason I go, I always look at who a guy fought. Have you dealt with a statuesque? I don't think that Benavidez is the puncher that Virgil is, by no stretch of the imagination. But that's a question of, have I seen Crawford fight someone who could fill out the 154? Yes, I've seen that 2 times so far. I saw that with Mean Machine. Mean Machine has the dimensions to go to 54. Does he win a title? No. Can he go there? Yes. Better than Thurman can. Better than Garcia can. Benavidez, you're talking about a guy who's about 6 feet tall in a welterweight division. So when you fight Virgil, you have to work around not just his power, but his size, because he's very fucking big for a welterweight. Have I seen you work around someone with a lot of size on you? Yeah, I saw you work around Ndongo. He was bigger than you. I'm not saying Ndongo is a mirror for Ortiz, but that's a situation where you had to work around a fighter's size. You fought Postol. He was bigger than you. You beat the brakes off of Molina. He was bigger than you. You outboxed and then took out Jose Benavidez in the welterweight division. So I'm confident today Crawford wins that fight. He knows how to work around a guy's size.
So what's the problem with Ioka winning this fight?
I don't trust that he still wants it. I don't trust any guy who was going to retire. I don't trust any guy that tells me I'm about to retire.
I got you. Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what? But to be fair, since he said that he was going to retire, he's had 2 fights and won them both convincingly.
No. And I'm not doubting his heart. I'm just saying that where they are right now, right? It's gonna, for me, it comes down to intangibles, because I do think Kazuto's the better boxer. I honestly believe that, but I feel like Kosei wants to be there more right now because Kazuto been there and done that. He's a fucking 4th division champion, bro. He don't
but Kazuto's situation in retirement, we need to talk about this. That came down to infidelities with his wife and being all over like the media. That was all over the media at that point. That had zero to do with boxing. He wanted to get out of the limelight of the media at the time. This is 2 years ago. Since then, he's had fights with even pound-for-pound caliber fighters.
Fair enough.
All right. Now, Karate Body says Crawford too skilled. Listen, man. Karate Body, you better go watch Ioka box, because that dude's skilled, dog. I mean, you know, Crawford is in the limelight and at 147 and he going against Spence, but I don't think a lot of you guys watch the skill set of these smaller guys just because they're not plastered all over the TV screen. We act like these guys are not skilled. That dude has excellent, and I mean excellent footwork. And that's part of what I think is another thing that's going to give Tanaka problems. So
early maybe.
Yeah, I hear you, Jay. But I was just saying to Karate Body, if you say that he's too skilled, then go watch Ioka. Go watch film of him. and then tell me, Ioka's highly skilled, bro. It's not
He's
like
also an excessively strong finisher because of the nature of his style. His nature of his style wears you down. Tanaka's shown gas problems in the last
Hey
three
man,
rounds.
go ahead and get into a gunfight with fucking Tanaka. That's all I got.
Bro, it's not. I'm not talking a gunfight. No, bro, there ain't gonna be no gunfight. Everything kind of like, sure, you can bring up certain circumstances like upside and everything, but if you look at just the pure boxing element of this fight and how it's gonna go, Ioka's not going to be engaging Tanaka like an idiot, like some people do, giving him like this is the first back-footed fighter Ioka's ever fought in his career. That's the first thing you need to remember here. He's fought people who come in gun blazing. This is a guy who nip tucks in and out, moves his head 2 angles, fires low to the body, which Tanaka has zero defense about. Tanaka is a fighter who sets his feet when he's throwing his combinations. Ioka is a person who's always constantly moving, whether it's laterally, unilaterally, or side to side. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. This is going to be This is going to be a big learning curve. I think, to be honest, Tanaka's probably the most overrated fighter in pound for pound contention.
All right, Mark. He's got to beat him up because Deontay Wilder is not like. Come on, Mark.
Did you no? Stop for a second. Y'all started screaming over me when I said pound for pound contention.
All right. You're right.
It's either him or Leo Santa Cruz for me is the most overrated pound for pound criteria fighter.
Leo for me, he's overrated, and I overrate him. I'm not happy about that, but I do. I have no choice. I have to follow the rules. But Kosei, what's he got? 14 fights? 14, right?
15.
15 fights. 3 division champion. Beat Shokamura. Yeah. He's not overrated to me. That's damn good. That's damn good for 15 fights.
I mean, I don't even think Shokamura is the best winner on his resume. First of all, that's a majority decision, and that was a very tight fight, and he was hurt badly in that fight. I think his best win is either Taguchi or Angel Acosta. They're good wins.
Puerto Rican kid?
Huh?
Angel is the Puerto Rican kid, right?
Yeah, Angel Acosta is the massive puncher at 108 who he got stopped last year by Soto in the very last round. Remember that controversial fight at the very end?
I didn't see that fight. Didn't see that.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't see Angel Acosta versus what's his face?
Angel Acosta versus Elwin Soto. That was the co-main event to Andrew Cancio versus Alberto Machado.
Maybe I did and I forgot it because I did see Cancio versus Machado. That was a good beating. Very good beating. I enjoyed both of those beatings.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Mark pretty much summed it up. Except didn't really. Well, only thing he did, like in between him coming in, like if you look at that man's feet, his footwork, he transitions his weight perfectly, bro. No matter where he moves to the side, back, when he steps back, his weight transition is beautiful. Beautiful.
I've acknowledged that Kazuto is a better boxer and more experienced than
Kazuto's the Japanese Floyd Mayweather.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I've acknowledged that Kazuto, in terms of nuts and bolts in boxing, is a better boxer by far than Kosei. But I don't think it's going to come to that. I think it's going to come down to intangibles. I don't think it's going to come down to boxing.
You know, it's a very big intangible.
I just want to say this, and I don't think that this is, hold on, I want to say this. I don't think that this is the best parallel, but this is what it reminds me of. Eubank DeGale. DeGale's a better boxer than Chris. He's a better boxer than that guy, but he fucking lost to him.
DeGale's was way more shop worn.
And I agree. That's why I said it's not the most adequate parallel, because I don't think Kazuto is as shop worn.
I don't think he's shop worn at all.
Oh,
his last 2 fights didn't show me shop worn.
No.
His last 2 fights showed me a pound for pound level fighter.
I'm saying he's closer to the end of his career than Kosei is. That's my point. Like, okay, you done been there and done that. Kosei trying to do what you did already. He's just trying to do it faster than you did it. But he's younger than you are. He's more solid than you are. This layoff don't hurt him the way it hurts you. You're 31. I know what 31 feels like. I'm 37. You got to grunt just to get off the couch. right? He wants to fuck his wife and make babies.
Well, we'll see if the young male can come take out the alpha lion. But as of now, I gotta have Tanaka up there. I mean, Ioka up there until I see Tanaka do it.
Freudian slip.
I knew Julius was going to say Freudian slip.
You know what time it is, D. You know what time it is.
I don't think he can do it, bro.
Julius, by the way, if you don't want to pay up on that bet, right? I'll tell you what you can do. I'll tell you what I'll accept. I'll accept a handwritten apology letter written in quill.
Oh my God.
Don't worry about it, dog. I'm not worried about that fight, man. All
But
right.
do you know what I am worried about? Not enough people watching it. And I think we need to say this to everybody who's listening now who may not be interested or who may not know these guys or whatever. Please, for the love of God, try and watch this fight when it gets made. Because it's a beautiful fight.
I'm gonna make it simple for him. If you like watching guys that throw a lot of fucking punches and don't stop throwing fucking punches, right? If that's what you like to watch that fucking fight, because that's what you're gonna see. That's not gonna be a finesse fight. Even if Kazuto wins, that ain't gonna be a finesse fight per se. That motherfucker go for broke.
He's aggressive. He does use a bit of finesse, but he's very aggressive. He's a vicious body puncher.
It's very subtle. Like it takes, like I'm gonna say, it takes a trained eye to notice the little things that he does. That he punches from strange angles and that he has good footwork, good pivots, good movement. He's got feet. He's got feet. But like I said, to the casual observer that doesn't really care about any of that stuff, if you want to see two guys that are gonna try to take each other's heads off from start to finish, and somebody gotta go, right? That's Ioka versus Tanaka. More than any of that bullshit at 147. More than any of that bullshit.
If you want to see Julius pay me money, you need to watch this fight.
All right, well, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see that because it's look, man. You ain't got to sell it to me, dog. All right, you got Ioka. All right, you could fucking have Ioka, right?
I got Ioka.
I fucking told you.
I am the one man.
I fucking
I'm a one-man committee for
my guy. I told you that my guy John O'Carroll was gonna beat Scott Quigg, and you don't want to believe me. You don't want to believe me.
You know what, bro? I told the whole world Tyson Fury was gonna stop Deontay Wilder via a fucking pullout.
All right,
via a pullout from breathing.
Are we gonna do this again, Mark? We're gonna do this again. I told the world that Daniel Dubois was gonna stop Nathan Gorman.
Okay.
All right.
And I told the whole world that Julian J. Rock Williams was going to beat Jarrett Hort.
Well, all right.
You can't take credit.
I said that Tony Harrison would beat Charlo in the first fight.
Well, I didn't. Hey, hold the fuck on. I didn't make a pick in the first fight, but I did make a pick in the second fight, and I picked Jamel to stop Tony. All right. So you can't even bring that shit up. I didn't pick anybody in the first Harrison fight.
You can't take credit for Daniel Dubois beating Nathan Gorman.
Yes,
he can over me because I picked Garmin.
You picked Gorman.
Yeah, of course I picked Garmin. I was drunk when I did it.
Who did y'all pick in Teofimo Kami, Julius?
Shut the fuck up, you asshole.
No, it's fine. I picked Comey.
Oh, you did?
Me too.
I picked Comey. I mean, to me, look, it's like that was a fight, right? That was a fight, which reminds me. This is why it reminds me of Garcia versus Campbell. That's a fight where I'm willing to be wrong because I just saw Teofimo with Masayoshi Nakatani and you didn't look good, bro. So if you're better than what I think you are, it's not in your resume. So you got to surprise me. You got to show me because if I go off of what you did and how you've been looking, you ain't look good in your last fight. So I'm going to go Comey. Comey was beating the shit out of Beltran. Bigger, more experienced, tough as nails. Then Teofimo. Teofimo struck me as unproven. So I went with Comey.
Me too. I made a mistake on that shit, man.
I looked at Nakatani, and I always say this. I looked at Nakatani more than I looked at Teofimo when I studied this fight. So I'm looking at their last fights. When I'm watching the film with Nakatani and Teofimo, I'm looking at Nakatani. I'm not really looking at Teofimo. And I think that everybody's problem with the Nakatani fight is that everyone was looking at Teofimo. The dude Nakatani is a much better boxer than people were giving him credit for. That's the problem. That's the huge problem. He's a much better boxer than people were giving him credit for. And that's who Teofimo had struggles with. So he went in there and he did the business to Comey.
I'll say, look, Masayoshi is better than advertised. I agree with you there.
He's a good fighter.
He's a good fighter. I still would like to see him have other fights.
He could be a top 10. He could be a top 10 guy.
Let me tell you what. I could go for a Nakatani versus Campbell, regardless
I
of
would love that fight.
For sure.
Do you know what fight I was thinking though? Like maybe it's just I was really thinking I would love to see Nakatani in there with my guy Richard Comey after the Teofimo loss, just to see how that would go.
I agree. I like that fight.
Excellent.
Damn, I really don't know what happened in that fight.
Because I bet you Nakatani will beat him too.
You think Nakatani beats Comey?
I bet you he'll beat him too. You know why I say this, Julius? You know why I say this? Because again, the dude's a much better boxer than people gave him credit for. But here's the kicker though. That motherfucker got a much better chin than people understand. Teofimo was landing some clean shots on this kid. And he was, look, who else been taking those kind of shots? Who else?
That's fair.
So if Teofimo laying those kind of shots on this kid, we know Comey got power, but is he rocking Teofimo power? I don't think so. I think Nakatani beats him too.
I dig it.
People are talking about Cheeseman versus Eggington. Cheeseman via stoppage over the egg.
Yeah.
He gonna stop Sam. Like Sam is the Dave Allen of junior middleweight, man.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Dave
No, Dave Allen's got a chin.
Yeah. I'm just saying he's a crowd favorite. If Sam is still in a lot of conversations, it's because of the fans more than his record.
No, it's not. It's not. The fans aren't. There's not really much fandom for him in the UK. The reason he's in the picture is because Barry Hearn loves him.
Why does he love him?
I don't know. It's his best friend. I'm not joking either. Anybody over here can tell you. Nobody gives a shit about Sam Eggington. It's Barry. People did, and then he started to lose, and then nobody cares anymore. But it's Barry. It's always been Barry. Barry's been pushing him.
Yeah, well, Cheese is gonna push him. He's gonna push him right into the fucking hospital.
Yeah,
I like Ted Cheeseman, you know. I like Ted Cheeseman.
I like Cheeseman too. He's gonna win this fight easy.
He made me and D Jefferson nearly have a stroke against Fitzgerald because we're used to seeing Ted come forward, and then all of a sudden Ted's boxing like a pugilist. That was funny.
Crazy fight, bro. Very unexpected for me. Like I didn't expect a fight like that.
I didn't expect it to go that way. That whole fucking card was sick.
Yeah.
A great card. Anybody who hasn't seen it, go watch that Cheeseman Fitzgerald card because you'll be treated to a very special fight on that card.
I want to see Masayoshi Nakatani versus Robert Easter at 140 fucking.
I'll beat the shit out of Robert Easter, man.
I want to see it at 140 when they both can because you know those are big guys for 135. Those are really big guys for that weight. So let them guys fight because I don't know how Masayoshi's making 135, man. What the fuck? Like how, bro? You 6'1".
Because he eating a lot.
Speaking of interesting fights, what do you guys think of Lewis Ritson's next opponent, Miguel Vasquez? Like that's a good fight.
I gotta look him up. I don't know much about Miguel.
That's the thing. I know about Ritson, but I don't know much about Vasquez.
Y'all don't know Miguel Vasquez?
No.
Hold on, let me fill this question. The reason that people are saying that he's now signed to Top Rank is because he signed to Jay Prince, and Jay Prince, a lot of his fighters like Tony Yoka are Top Rank fighters. That's why they're saying that. It hasn't been announced by Top Rank that he's with them, but that's the assumption that people are making because he just signed to Jay Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in all likelihood, he's going to end up. I think he's better off for it. Give me a Jagba versus Agit Kabayel, who I had to review that Chisora fight last night. And I don't think that I viewed that fight with the proper filter. Ayagba is formidable. I mean, fucking Ayagba. Kabayel is formidable, man.
Hold on. He was at that time. Since then, he's been very inactive. Very, very inactive. Scarcely. At that point, I actually had Kabayel in my own, because I do top 15 rankings per division. I had him number 11 in the heavyweight division, right? When he was
He's all right. He's like
he can box.
Yeah.
He's got good feet. He's got nice balance. He can use his jab. He's got a good straight right. He can do some slick shit, man. He got an engine too.
I watched that fight. He looked all right, moving laterally, boxing from the outside, but even in the pocket, even when Derek was right up on him, he looked all right. And, some shots, 1 or 2 shots got through for Derek that I think would have knocked somebody else out. He took the shots. He took them all right. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Kabayel is solid. And if he can be that guy from the night of the Chisora fight, yeah, I like this guy. Give me Kabayel versus Valine. I'll take it.
That's a good fight.
It's a fucking great fight.
It's a very good fight, man. I like that, man. Yo, give me Ring IQ promotions. That's what I want.
Like Kabayel, I think that at the time, maybe I just didn't view that victory in the proper scope, but at the same time, it aged well because since then, fucking Takam couldn't go the distance with Chisora. And I know that everybody brings up, Derek might not have been dedicated in that fight. Derek might have ticker problems. All right, just consider the litmus test for Usyk is who? Chisora. All right, Kabayel done been there and done that. He done been there and done that. So you gotta look at it the right way to like, you know what? Maybe he's more solid than some guys. I'll tell you, I view Kabayel as being more solid than Adam Kopnowski. Is that fair?
I think he actually beats him, and he's got a better resume as well to boot. He's got Derek Chisora, he's got Rudenko and everything on there. He can fight.
I don't know because fucking Adam has Charles Martin.
Okay, yeah.
He's got Charles Martin. He's got Artur Spilka. He's got
Spilka don't count.
Yeah, he counts. If he counts for Derek, he counts for Adam.
He doesn't count for Derek.
When people bring up, I saw people after the fight. After the fight, they said, "Damn, Derek took Spilka out faster than Wilder."
Yeah, but that was a more war shot.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying that. All right, look, if we can say that Derek is on the up and up on the wings of what he's been doing, a part of what he's been doing is knocking out Artur Spilka.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't rate it, me personally. I don't. I was in shock when I watched that fight, Julius. I thought that Spilka was dead. There's live commentary of me actually saying, is he actually ever going to get up? I genuinely thought Spilka was dead. That was one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen. I thought that was knockout of the year last year.
It was up there for me. It was up there for me too. I really like that knockout. Spilka don't take a good punch, man. You don't take a good punch.
Even though he doesn't take a good punch, the brutality of that knockout, just the way he slinked down on his legs on the ropes like a slinky, folding up and falling to the side with his neck bending inward. It was like he was trying to give himself head.
He should retire.
Well,
didn't he? Wait, when he went down to cruiserweight, did he lose that fight?
I can't remember. I don't really give a crap about Artur Spilka, to be honest with you.
Mi amigos.
Take care, Dick.
Fuck out of here. Got to get dressed, go to work. Gentlemen, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, peace out.
Shout out.